Hello! And people seem to like the first episode of this, so I'm doing this again just with Rainbow Steve, because his name is in the damn title of Rainbow Quest. So I probably should do him next, right? That makes a lot of sense. So, anyways, this is on a different format than my previous script. Like, the last script I had like actual like lines I was supposed to say. No. This one I just put like a bulletin board of stuff to say because I find I'm gonna see if if that's a lot easier for me. Because in the other video, in the last time, I went off track so many times from the original script. Like, it wasn't, like, seriously. So now I'm trying this. The first, by the way, I must say that, this video, were like, the points aren't in a specific order. They were just down to what I thought of at the time. Like, I just jotted them down as I thought them up, okay? So anyways, the first thing is that it is the reason why Orange, I was trying to say origin, Orange Steve. The reason why Orange Steve can speak while all of the other Steves can't, or most of them can't, is because he isn't a Steve, and he holds immense power. The only Steves we know to have the ability to talk are powerful Steves. Only exceptions being Time and Elemental, but yeah. And that goes on to my next topic, is how all of the Steves have the ability to speak. They just choose not to because it takes up too much energy. And the explanation for this that I thought of is how Steves are like a subspecies of humans in a way. They have powers. They have like immense powers compared to humans. But like in exchange for the powers, very common things that are very easy for humans to do become drastically harder for Steves to do. Like, talking, for example. This doesn't mention, like, this doesn't count as, like, walking or something like that, because, like, every being has a walk, so, you know? So, yeah, that's my explanation for how Rainbow Steve, Void Steve, who else can speak? Galaxy Steve and Origin are the only ones who can talk, because they have such immense power that they can, expend some energy to talk. Actually, wait, no. Wait, could Void talk? Yeah, he could, right? Wait. Can Void Steve? No, he can't. He can't talk. Okay, what am I saying? Never mind. When Rainbow Steve was being corrupted with the darkness, Rainbow Steve has had a shadow of him too, just like Sabre. Like Sabre had Shadow Sabre and whatnot. Rainbow also had a shadow. Rainbow also has a shadow form. It's just like, see, this is how I see the darkness as. Whenever Steve gets infected by the darkness, there is like a shadow version of themselves trying to take control over the Steve's body. Kind of like a war going on inside the Steve's head. Because, well, I mean, that kind of shows how, like, the infected Steves are very, like, they don't know what to do, because there's obviously, like, a war going on in between their minds, in between their heads, or in their head. So, like, the darkness literally infects them by injecting a shadow, or like an evil version of themselves into the Steve. And then it just depends on who wins the fight. If a Steve can, like, overcome the darkness, then, well, the darkness still stays on them. They just have conscience over their mind, and they can, like, control themselves. But if they don't, if they lose to the darkness, they become basically like Rainbow Steve. They just lose complete control over themselves, and they just die. Or no, they don't die, but, like, actually, no, they do get destroyed, don't they? No, they don't. They just, I don't know. Anyways, and this kind of leads on to my next thing. Orange Steve could create the hub statue. Remember, like, that huge, like, thing that, like, most people made in Minecraft whenever they were, like, 7, because they didn't know how to build, so they just made, like, huge statues of things. Like, I remember I made a bunch of, like, FNAF statues. Those were fun, but also very bland. Orange Steve could only create the hub statue and give it life, because he is a crystal, as we all know. He is a crystal. And adding on to my idea that the crystals create new life and not Steve's. The crystals, when creating a Rainbow Steve, in a way, circle themselves around said Steve, and almost gives them, like, a new paint job, if that makes sense, with their original color underneath their rainbow form. Kind of like how you can dye your hair, like, any color you want, but the original color is gonna stay in the roots of your hair, and that's never gonna go away. You just have to constantly keep on replacing it. Kind of like that, except for the paint job would be permanent, or at least until you gave up your powers or something. And then this is one of my last ones. All of the Orange Steves are technically Rainbow Steve siblings. Kind of like how humans are related by blood, Steves are related by color, with a Light Steve or Shy Orange Steve being the closest brother to Rainbow Steve, as they both are no longer Orange Steves, but are, like, unique Steves. Side note, but I do want to point out the fact that I'm not sure how many people realize this, but in Steve's Saga, not Rainbow Quest, Steve's Saga, Rainbow Steve is canonically Light Steve's dad. Think about it, because, like, Light Steve was created from a mistake that Sabre did when experimenting with Rainbow Steve. So, just gonna put that out there in the world, that Rainbow Steve in Steve's Saga is canonically Light Steve's dad. Take that as you will. For the last thing, is that Rainbow Steve is loose friends with everyone, but has a tight, and I mean tight, connection with Orange Steve, with the Orange Steves, Light Steves, and Sabre, of course. Since all of the other colored Steves aren't his color, he still has empathy for them, sure, but he's mentally biased towards his people and not the other Steves. Kind of like how, like, if you had power over a kingdom, you would still feel empathy for another kingdom, but you wouldn't, like, care for them as much as you would for your own kingdom. That's kind of how I would put it. And, that's all I really have for Rainbow Steve. I don't really know what else to add. If you have any other ideas or want to, like, edit to my current ideas, do that in the description below. It helps me out a ton. Like and comment and subscribe and all of that, because I want to be an actual YouTuber. So, yeah, bye.